For the last 6,000 years, the Euphrates River has brought the areas of Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia unprecedented success. However, it has finally dried up, and something terrifying is happening as a result. But before all that, there was a prophecy centuries ago. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The hour will come to pass before the river Euphrates dries up to unveil the mountain of gold for which people will fight." It is finally coming true, and this is an extremely exciting time to be alive. There are a lot of men who spent their lives trying to predict this very era, and we're going to be the generation to actually see how it plays out. Scientists have recently released information about the changes in the Euphrates River, and it's not looking good. If you're interested in learning more about what these changes could mean for the future of mankind, join us as we explore the details further in this video. The Euphrates was a river that nursed humanity's first civilizations. Because of the Treaty of Lausanne, 1923, after the Turkish War of Independence, because Turkey didn't want to be carved up by the victorious superpowers of World War I, they divided the river accordingly to each country where the Euphrates inhabited it, and each nation had dams constructed. These countries would take control of this river and exploit it more, and as a result the river dried up. So, could the apocalypse come true and Christ will return? Well, your guess is as good as mine. On the one hand, the Euphrates was supposedly where the Garden of Eden once was. And to quote the Bible, when the sixth angel poured his bowl, the Euphrates River dried up. Paraphrasing, obviously, and this could refer to the dams that were constructed. The river has been slowly shrinking for years due to drought and increased demand from irrigation. But now it has reached a critical point. The river is now so low that it can no longer provide enough water to meet the needs of the people and animals who rely on it. How is the world facing consequences of the Euphrates River drought? The consequences of this are already being felt. In Iraq, for example, the river is so low that farmers are struggling to irrigate their crops. Fish populations are also being affected as the river is no longer able to support them. The long-term effects of the river drying up are even more worrying. The Euphrates is a major source of water for countries in the Middle East, and its disappearance could lead to conflict over water resources. It could also have a devastating impact on the environment, as the river is a key part of the local ecosystem. The situation is critical, and something needs to be done to save the Euphrates River. Otherwise, the consequences could be disastrous. Can you imagine the importance of the Euphrates River to its surroundings? It's been the main source of water for the region, and with it, growth and fertility are unlike anything they'd ever seen before. However, things in the river are changing, and with it, questions are popping up all over. One particular concern is the rise in instability in the region. For example, the Euphrates River is being used as an avenue for war. This has brought many different powers to the region, including the United States. The question is, will these changes in the river also bring about a change in the states that rely on it? The impact of the Euphrates River drying up is already being felt by the people who rely on it. In Syria, for example, farmers are struggling to irrigate their crops, and water shortages are becoming a serious problem. If the river continues to dry up, it will have a devastating effect on the people and the environment of the region. To understand its importance in a better way, first we need to know about the course it follows. How the course of Euphrates River carry its importance. The Euphrates River is one of the longest rivers in the world, and it has been an important waterway since ancient times. The river begins in Turkey, and it flows through Syria and Iraq before emptying into the Persian Gulf. The Euphrates is an important source of water for irrigation and other purposes, and it is also a major highway for trade and transportation. In recent years, the river has been the site of conflict between the governments of Turkey and Syria. We can talk about the technicalities, but is all of this fate? It may be, because it was predicted years ago. How is the Euphrates River mentioned in the Quran, and was this message conveyed years ago in Hadith? The Euphrates River is one of the most important rivers in the Quran. It is mentioned in several verses, including Surah Al-Barak 2:156, Surah Al-Araf 7:137, and Surah Al-Anbiya 21:30. The river is significant in Islamic history and culture, as it is the site of many important events mentioned in the Quran. The Euphrates River is mentioned in the Quran as the place where the Ark of Noah came to rest after the flood. Surah Al-Barak 2:156. The river is also the site of the Battle of Badr, where the Muslim army defeated the Quraysh tribe. Surah Al-Araf 7:137. The river is also mentioned in Surah Al-Anbiya, where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was asked to cross the river with his followers. 21:30. The hour will not come to pass before the river Euphrates dries up to unveil a mountain of gold, for which people will fight. 99 of 100 will die in the fighting, and every man amongst them will say, "Perhaps I may be the only one to remain alive, and thus possess the gold." Sahih Muslim. The Euphrates River is one of the most important rivers in the world, and it has been the subject of much controversy over the years. How different controversies have shaped up due to the Euphrates River? One of the most controversial issues concerning the Euphrates River is the question of its ownership. The river is located in the Middle East, and its waters are shared by several countries, including Syria, Turkey, and Iraq. Each of these countries has claimed ownership of the river at various times, and the issue has been subject of much dispute. Another controversial issue concerning the Euphrates River is the question of its water rights. The river is a vital source of water for many countries in the region, and the allocation of water resources has been the subject of much debate. The Euphrates River also has been the site of much environmental degradation, and this has been a source of controversy in recent years. After understanding these controversies, now let's investigate why is it losing its water. Why is the Euphrates River drying up? The Euphrates River is drying up for a variety of reasons. Firstly, the river is being used for irrigation purposes, which means that water is being taken out of the river and used to water crops. This is reducing the amount of water available in the river. Secondly, climate change is causing the river to receive less water from rainfall and snowmelt. This is because the climate in the region is becoming drier. Finally, the construction of dams and other water infrastructure projects is blocking the flow of water in the river and preventing it from reaching its destination. This is due to a number of factors, including climate change, water pollution, and the overuse of water resources. A UN press release on World Water Day quotes a recent international report warning that the Tigris and Euphrates rivers could completely dry up by 2040 because of the compounded effect of climate change, reduced upstream supply, and an increase in domestic and industrial use. As the water level of the river is declining, the gold is becoming visible. Some scholars have interpreted the term of gold as oil. But what is the world doing about it? Are there any efforts being made to avoid this drought? The situation in the Euphrates River is becoming bleak as more and more countries get involved in fighting over the waters. Nothing is being done to help preserve this essential resource. It is imperative that countries who do in fact share the same waterway work together to preserve the water that is left. This river has been bringing fertility and strength to the area, and it's at risk of losing it all. It's time to take action and save the Euphrates before it's too late. The world is enough to accommodate all of us, but it isn't enough to accommodate greed. The Euphrates River has been through many changes since it was discovered by humans. Now we're still trying to figure out what it'll become in the next 6,000 years. For example, where is the Euphrates River going to flow in the future? Will it continue to be a large source of water and nutrients for the people near it, or will it dry up? Many people fear that this river will be dry in a couple of years. However, there are people who are trying to find solutions to help the river stay a large source of water for many years to come. Let's end this video on these questions and hope for any improvements that could be made. Or we can let fate run its course and wait for the prophecy to be fulfilled. What do you feel about things building up? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.